Global Telly, you have a prepaid call from
Hey, everybody.
an incarcerated individual at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi,
We
California.
have an interview today with you.
Monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
What up, my dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Well, how about yourself, dude?
Pretty good. Let's welcome to the Jeff Show. Isn't it? Isn't it a crime? Is the name change?
Oh, really? What is it?
Isn't it a crime?
Oh, isn't it a crime? It
Yeah.
sure fucking is.
Sure fucking is. And you're gonna be on YouTube right now. I got a picture of you behind me. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Okay, well, you're getting high tech. I
Yeah.
like that.
High, low tech.
Good.
I'm getting there. Man.
High, low tech, right.
Yeah.
The day we used to call, if somebody was doing something high tech, we'd say you're a high tech peck for peckerwood.
High tech pick a wood. I like it. How have you been? You've been in a couple lockdowns since we've.
Oh, fucking yeah. So things have been pretty crazy here lately, man. Yeah, we were on a lockdown. It was a statewide lockdown for level 3s and level 4s due to extreme violence, um, overdoses. There's been an epidemic between fentanyl and spice, and dudes have just been falling out left and right, man. It's like zombie land, dude. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
Fuck, that's crazy.
So
man.
the powers that be, you know what I mean, got pretty mad and slammed everybody down, and then they told us if when we came up, if there's any more violence, that they're going to slam us right back down. But there was a riot a couple days ago, about 20 dudes. They were throwing rocks at each other, all kinds of crazy shit. And what they just did was they just CTQ'd in, just kept them in their cells, and they allowed us to continue to program. But it's pretty tentative. You know what I mean? Like every day, there's just violence is right on the edge of boiling over. You know, this is a pretty wild yard that I'm on, and so see what happens.
Yeah, and you had to go back to this yard. You were recently given a transfer, but they made a clerical mistake and brought you back, right?
I've never heard of in my life, and send me back to this bad fucking yard. So, I mean, the way that I look at it is there's obviously some type of lesson I'm supposed to learn here. So I'm trying to keep my eyes open, and you know what I mean. As Dave Remember says, keep your hopes up high and your head down low.
Yeah. No, I know you were really excited about that, but even when you were moved back, your spirit's still pretty good. I'm glad to hear about that.
Yeah.
And you got heat stroke a couple days ago too. What happened there?
Oh man, dude. Okay, so I'm on psychotropic medication. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's what they call heat meds. You're not supposed to be outside and past 90 degrees. So if you do that, then there's going to be, you know what I mean, there's going to be some physical repercussions. So, you know what I mean, I just had a bad day. That was all.
It sounded like not a good day at all. And I think when you were in lockdown, I remember you called me during it, and you were kind of like whispering like this, and I thought, does Neil have a butt phone? It sounded like he was on.
No. It's just, you know what I mean, when you're stuck in a small cell and you're trying to have a conversation while your celly's trying to have a conversation,
Right.
you just try to talk as quiet as possible, so you're not, you know what I mean, being too loud. So those times when I was speaking to you in the cell, I was just trying to be mindful of, you know what I mean, of my celly space.
Yeah.
It's just a respectful thing to do, to try to speak as quiet as possible.
No, that makes sense.
So yeah.
So if they're sweet talking their girl.
I am a loud individual, so it's like I have to actually be very purposeful and mindful to, you know what I mean, to talk quiet, because you know what I mean, my regular volume is pretty fucking high.
I'm the opposite. I'm pretty soft spoken, and I'm trying to learn to raise my volume. You know, it's hard to have.
Yeah.
I got low and I got loud. I need to find a middle ground.
Opposite. I think that's cool though, because like I feel like your just mellowness just brings me down too. You know what I mean? So when we hang out, you're like almost like, you know, you're on like a soothing force. So that's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. You fell asleep a couple times, and I was starting to sing lullabies to you. I'll tell
No,
you
yeah,
bedtime stories, man. Well, not from boredom, just from like you're calm, you're relaxed, you know.
yeah.
And if your cell ever gets crazy, put me on the phone again, and I'll call him. I can talk him off the tower, man. Keep the peace.
Talk them down.
Yeah,
Yes, sir. Yes,
yeah.
sir.
So, how's your pen paling going? Any new people reaching out to you?
Recently, the only couple people that I've been writing are you and Dakota.
Okay,
Yeah, that's who I really. You got a couple letters in the mail, as a matter of fact, right now.
sweet.
So one's pretty lengthy, and the other one is a little bit shorter. But
You
yeah,
do.
dude, I'm waiting for I'm waiting to see. You mean who the powers that be in the universe bring into my life? You know what I mean? I spend a lot of my communication on the Getting Out app. I mean, texting. So I only have a few people that actually do like pen paling with. You know what I mean? Right now, that's you and Dakota. I've written our friend Matt, but he's a pretty busy guy and he's never written me back. So it's like it's kind of hard to write letters to somebody
Yeah.
that doesn't write you back. You know what I mean?
I know
And
he's
that's
busy.
not throwing shade on him. He's just, you know what I mean? I don't think he's like a letter writing guy.
Maybe not. And I'm the opposite. I love to write letters. I prefer it over GTL.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed, like my messages are getting longer on GTLs because I'm doing the talk to
I
text. But that means some of
I
the some of the words are fucked up. I hate typing the messages,
Yeah.
man. You know?
Well, I try if I have the time. Sometimes I don't have the time, so I just respond really quickly. But if I have the time, I try to write the longest messages I can to get the most bang for my buck. I'm like, they're charging me 5 cents for this. Let me go ahead and make sure that you know what I mean. I get my money's worth. You know what I mean. So I try to write, and I don't have a problem. I'm pretty verbose as an individual. Pretty wordy.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, I'm a pretty wordy ass motherfucker. So it's like it's fill up. You know what I mean. 2,000 characters. You know what I mean. That's no problem for me.
Yeah. No, sometimes it'll even come across as two, which is great. But yes, you have to get the bang for your buck. It is 5 cents. Can you believe the East Coast is
Yeah.
25 cents? Can you imagine sending like a buck? Yeah, man. I won't.
You know what? We're the new tablets here probably next month, August,
Yeah.
and the rate is going down to 3 cents per text. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
stoked about that.
Is
Yeah.
that the switch over to Securus when that happens?
Yes, yeah, that's who we're going with. Yeah.
The only bummer is difference with GTLs. You can't tell when someone's active, and you can't always tell if a message is approved or not because there's no denied or approved.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's some downsides. There could be probably there's gonna be some ruined relationships because they're all freaking out. They haven't heard back from somebody, or the message didn't go through.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. I still don't have a tablet right now. I got somebody that's letting me borrow his for a couple days at a time. We go back and forth, so I have to use the kiosk on the day room to actually check my messages. You know what I mean? Whenever we have the day room.
What happened to the one that you bought from that dude who switched facilities?
So I bought it, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, I never transferred, so he's still here.
Oh shit.
So originally he was supposed to be leaving in 3 days, and so that's why he sold it to me at such a low price. Well, he ended up when we got off the lockdown, he was still here. So I worked out a deal with him because you know what I mean. I got a big heart. You know what I mean, I wasn't willing to just tell him, well, sorry, dude, fucking it's mine now. Since he's still here, I'm sharing it with him.
Got it.
So it's actually, I mean, I got a big heart. You know what I mean,
yeah, you're a good dude.
I couldn't just do him like, well, sorry, bro, fucking you sold.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Yeah, so we're sharing it. So I'm gonna take him out James tonight, as a matter of fact, and he'll have it until Sunday. I give it to him on Thursdays. He keeps it till he gives it back to me on Sunday. So that's how we're doing it right now.
That's pretty solid. I mean, if everybody in there operated like that, even in the outside world, not everybody fucking works like that.
I'm telling you, man. You know what I mean? Like, I agree wholeheartedly. Like, if we would just think of each other a little bit more, and you know what I mean, try to, you know what I mean, instead of just looking the way that we could just come up on motherfuckers if we look like how we could work together.
Yeah.
That gets so for a lot of different areas of life, man.
That's why I like pen paling with you. You're honest. You don't ask anything but friendship and honesty, which is refreshing. A lot of pen pals, it's a freaking game, it seems like. But so is friendship, man. It's not much different on the outside. It's all, yeah.
Well, I got a lot of gratitude, man, for our friendship and everything. Like,
Of course.
you know what I mean? Like, and you know, our pen paling it's been a pretty special experience for me, honestly. I mean, you've allowed me to really open up and be vulnerable about a lot of different things, and honestly, things that I thought I was going to take to the grave. And you know, there's a thing: if you want to heal from something, you got to be able to recognize it and accept it as something that happened. And if there's parts of your past that you're so ashamed of that you never tell anybody, you never really be able to you know, heal from those aspects. So the fact is like I've been able to utilize the you know I mean I guess the trust that we built together to be able to you know I mean get things off my chest. I never thought I'd be able to, which is a really cool thing because now I'm eating because of that stuff.
Same for you. You've been there for me for a lot of things, and there's stuff I like to talk to you outside of the show because it's not show topics. But yeah, there's other conversations I like to have with you on opinions about people. But yeah, I appreciate it. If I could take this into a career, I was just kind of joking last night. I was looking into. We have correctional officers in my area that we could do, but I don't know if I had the physicality for it because I have really bad knees. So the minute it's like, they'd be able to chase down people. I'm like, well, I don't have to chase them down. You'll politely ask them to stop. So I don't think I could do that anymore. You know?
Let me tell you what, bro. These officers that work for the state of California are so out of fucking shape. Oh my God. There's so many overweight officers. I'm not lying. And I'm not trying to downplay like that. Yeah. But like as far as like running or anything like that, dude, they used to have way back in the day. They used to have like you know what I mean, like a physical like standard that they expected you mean officers to be able to meet. Well, that's not the case anymore. Now they have you know I mean all sorts of every body type you can think of are employed by the state of California. So it's not a thing out here. They don't care if you can run or not. If you can, you know what I mean? If you can spray somebody with pepper spray, then pretty much you're in.
I was gonna jokingly say that. I don't want to spray anybody with pepper spray, not even a squirt gun with hot sauce, man, you know? But I guess sometimes you have to. I mean, what are some of the risks that you've seen with the correctional officer, and how often is it a problem for them?
So here, they don't engage the combatants at all physically. They'll stand way back, and like let's say if a melee is going on, or even if the fight, they let them fight, and they'll toss bombs at them, and these bombs like they have like like pepper like powder in them. There's this white powder, and they'll explode, and so the powder just like dissipates all around. You know what I mean? And they'll just toss them, and man, don't let motherfuckers like you know what I mean? Like don't wear themselves out. Like you're gonna fight. You're gonna fight all the way until like you're both huffing and puffing, and then they're gonna have you walk backwards up to them and then cuff you. You know what I mean? Like so they don't engage a combatant at all physically. They just toss bombs at them.
And well, I guess you have to do what you have to do. I don't think they would enjoy it, but maybe some do. I definitely would not. Do you see?
That's just the procedure here. Because everywhere else I've been, like. Dude, they rush you. You know what I mean? And they like, I mean, they'll spray you, they'll hit you with batons, like whatever. Like this is the only place I've ever been that engages combatants the way that they do. I've never seen this before. They just stand way back and just toss explosives at them, projectiles.
It's like fuck it. I'm not gonna break a sweat running to these dudes. I'm not gonna get risk getting fucking smashed in the face. Bomb it.
You're exactly right.
Wow,
that's
man.
Exactly what the mentality is, and it's just a trip because I've never seen anything like that before in my life. So it's just
they're never really the guards are never or not really guards, but the officers not really attacked because they're not that close to you, right? They don't take that chance.
Right, exactly. So they're just like, let them go.
Well, maybe you can be a reference for me. Also, you can contact Neil. He says that'd be a pretty sound officer. I'm always worried about
seconds remaining.
Being a pen pal would ruin that. Call back, man.
Awesome. That was good.
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
And you're back. And which is funny,
Yeah.
I have another call coming in, and it's also from jail. And I was worried, like, what if I answer the wrong one? Like, hey, the show, we have a second guest today on.
Right,
Surprise!
right,
I hope you're not mind being that you're being recorded right now.
Good.
Yeah, we actually got lucky. So we were talking
Okay.
about thinking about. I was also looking into which this is very far fetched. Okay, I was looking at the FBI because it came up in Indeed. Okay, I was just kind of curious what the requirements are. I'm too old for one thing. I think because you have to retire.
Okay.
You have to retire by 57, right?
Okay.
So I think you had to. I'm turning 47 this
Right.
weekend, so I got. I mean, fuck
Right.
yeah, I could retire in 10 years. That'd be great.
Oh, your birthday's on the 6th, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Awesome.
So I
Yeah.
don't qualify for the FBI for many reasons, but also like before we had to pause this for a moment, I'm worried about being a pen pal, and I pen pal a lot of people. Okay.
Right.
That's gonna
Right.
be, you think it's on probably on some type of list. It could be, but
It might be. I don't know. That's interesting right there because since it's so old school, you know what I mean? There's no digital footprint so much. You
as
know what I mean?
much as the
So
apps.
maybe
Yeah.
they would know about like the apps. You know
Right.
what I mean? They probably know about that. You know what I mean? But as far as like, you know what I mean, other pen pals that you've written, but I don't know, man. That's a good question. That would take it back to like some like literally like Robert Ludlum era fucking spycraft. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
really fucking. I mean, really like tracing down people's fucking mail. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. That's a good question. I do know they surveil just random citizens. I mean, regular citizens. So I don't know if they really pay attention to our mail. You know what I mean? Unless somebody becomes a person of special interest, and then that's when they start paying attention to their mail. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
seems like if a database with everybody's mail, like dude, that just seems like it would just be a ridiculously large amount of numbers to crunch. And I don't know if they have the computation for that. You know what I mean?
I think
like, because
yeah, it depends on
especially
people.
nowadays especially nowadays with how prevalent text messaging is and cellular phones. I have a hard time believing they're paying attention to what your mail is unless you become like, you know, a murder suspect or something like that, and all of a sudden they're pawing
There's
through
that, but
your
there's
garbage and looking at your post office.
there's also a couple things. Let me tell you. So there's a rule of thumb within true crimers and pen pallers is it's best not to write to someone who's a mass shooter, especially a school shooter. That's kind of like don't do that because they think you might be a supporter. And
Right.
if you write them quite often, you know, they look at your letters, as you're mentioning.
Your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
That's a red flag.
You could be a person of interest if you write someone regularly and if you say some weird shit. I heard someone
Yeah, no,
had
I
the
can imagine.
FBI, they were investigating because they said, I support you. Not like I support what you did. I just support you now as a person with your, recovery with, so you have to be careful what you say. And
Right.
my letters are very vanilla, you know.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
sometimes, except for the ones I sent to you.
Yep. Don't talk about like I mean, like as far as like you know when I like you know kind of like telling myself I'm only telling things that I'm already feeling busted for. You know what I mean? It's not like you know what I mean I'm like giving up any information on myself or somebody else for crimes that you know what I mean are outstanding.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, I do.
So
Yeah. And it'd be different. I mean, coming
you're not
from,
like any crime.
no. And so let me bring up a subject. So I was talking with a pen pal recently, and they're really like
Yeah.
trying to, they want to know what goes on in my mind. And they're asking, they're saying that, everyone has a dark side. And I said, sure. Okay. And they
Right.
said, now, haven't you ever had inclinations for violence? And I said, not really, no. And they're all, really? I'm like, yeah. Like they're trying to get me to admit, like, you never freaked out anybody? And like, no, I have not.
Right. Yeah, I mean, okay, I think that really under like the perfect storm, like humans are capable of some pretty dark things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But as far as like somebody just like fantasizing or thinking about her. I don't think that's true. That everybody has. I mean, violent designs. You know what I mean?
I don't think so
It
either.
really has. I mean, I don't think that's true. I mean, at all. I mean, I study a lot of, you know what I mean, psychology, and I mean, I don't think that's the case. You know what I mean? Those are like learned behaviors. You know what I mean? It's going to have to do with like, you know, the way that you were raised, what type of environment, what type of, you know, relationships you were around. If you saw domestic violence in the home, you know what I mean? If violence was normalized in, you know what I mean, in your environment by, you know what I mean, adults that you either looked up to or your caregivers or whatever, like, you know what I mean? That's how violence gets normalized in somebody's life. And they think that then it becomes a preferable way to conflict resolute. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think that that's just natural.
Yeah, I don't think it's
But
natural.
I did somewhere where I did read somewhere that somebody was trying to argue that it was natural because you look at little kids and they'll hit each other just automatically. You know what I mean? Like kids hit each other, and so that shows that humans are predisposed to violence. But I don't think that's true.
That's just how they're expressing themselves. They haven't learned that control, that filter, and how to verbalize what they're feeling, right? And they
Right.
might be going by example. Someone at home smacking them as a resolution for their behavior, then they're going to copy that. So,
Right.
yeah. It's just, it was funny because they kept probing, like they want me to admit something. I says, I'm like, sorry, I'm boring. It's not there. I don't know what to tell you. You got the wrong pin pal. That's what you're looking for, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm
Felt like this person was looking for a little bit of, you know what I mean, like just like validation, you know?
yeah.
Like saying, I'm not really that strange, am I? Everybody's like this, right? Oh no? Oh shit, I am weird.
Yeah, and well, the crime of passion because there's having a mishap or maybe you're being assaulted and you protect yourself, right? And you have to do what you got to do to this attacker, this assailant, right? And then there's could be overkill. There's a case I was watching where it was kind of a Wiccan thing. They took this person out, and it's still all hearsay because they deny it. But anyways, they took this person out to go like on a hike or something, or turn into a Wiccan, and they claimed that they were uh, as assaulted by this person, so they had to protect themselves. But the weapon they had was a Wiccan dagger, but that's usually in ceremonies. It's not always for like a sacrifice, but there was overkill on it. So, but you can't always say that overkill means that it was.
What's the word for those? How do you pronounce that? It's Athame. A thom or a thame? Like, how do you pronounce that word? I've always read it, but I've never heard it pronounced. So I don't know the correct way to say that word. But you know what I'm talking about?
For the dagger? I mean, for the altar piece?
Yeah, exactly. It's spelled Athame. That's
like a thomlet, I believe.
Okay.
And it had
there we go.
It had Egyptian
for that ceremonial dagger.
Yeah, and it had Egyptian writing on it. And of course, this news expose it sounded like it had Egyptian writing on it. They're making it more mysterious. I'm like, yeah, so they're used. It's they use it to call the corners. It's so yeah. So again, but they're saying that because of the overkill, it was purposeful. But I mean, they also had the person's name as sacrifice on their phone instead of their actual name, so that kind of doesn't help your case. If it wasn't for that piece of evidence, though, I would say you can't always, for sure, if the person who was attacking you, and if you go to town on them, that doesn't mean that it was premeditative, and it was, So there's a lot of shit in play with that. Going back to this person asking me, do I have these thoughts? I mean, if I had to protect myself, sure, and if it involved my family, that's different. I don't want to have to think about that, but yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah,
that's just like an automatic instinctual protectiveness. You know what I mean? That's just like like a man being able to like lift a car to like save one of his loved ones that's trapped underneath or something like that. You know what I mean? Like that's like just instinctive like adrenaline based responses. You know what I mean to specific and special circumstances.
I agree. It's with the strength and with this person, I also take into account of their age too.
Yeah.
They're fairly young, so I think that they're still playing upon their persona.
And this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
In their world on the inside, maybe they have to. Maybe they have to use that.
So back on the pen pal thing really quickly.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there. Anybody wants a cool pen pal, man, hit me up. You know, anybody wants a cool pen pal, hit Jeff up.
Yeah.
You know, we love to write letters. We love to communicate with people, and you know, it's a cool thing to be able to, especially through that medium. So I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah. We talk about everything from
Yeah,
past loves to music.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, last
yeah.
thing you've been asking me a lot about Freemasonry.
Yep. I went to the library today, and I found a book called Brothers, written by Alex Van Halen, about him and Eddie Van Halen's life.
Oh,
And
yeah.
dude, it's a really cool book, dude. I'm already in like the 4th chapter. It's just, and you know what's really interesting that I learned is that you know their first instruments is Eddie was playing the drums and Alex was playing the guitar.
That's right.
And they would switch off. They would switch off just to fuck around. And then one time they were listening to a Cream record, and Eddie just pulled off a fucking an Eric Clapton solo like it was nothing. And they both looked at each other and they're like, "Oh shit! Obviously, that guitar is your instrument." And so that's how they ended up becoming a guitarist and a drummer, respectively.
He's
Pretty
a he's a
I like
wizard. That's a great band to mention. I saw them twice back in the 90s. Of course, this was with
nice.
Sammy Hagar, and this is in Tucson, Arizona.
Yeah.
It was the Four Unlawful Carnal Knowledge album, also known as Fuck, right?
I remember that album.
Yeah, great album.
It was a good album.
So it was. I saw them twice at the same summer, and it was Tucson and Phoenix. It was the loudest show I've ever been to. My ears have never been the same since, man. It was fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, in the book, Alex said that Eddie, from the very beginning, you know how in Spinal Tap it says this goes up to 11. Eddie wanted his amp to go up to 12.
It
Like,
sure did.
Just like he would fiddle with his amps and do all these little different things and add amplifiers to him and everything, so he can have the loudest guitar. I mean, so yeah, dude, I'm not surprised. You know, he was just obsessed with volume from the very beginning.
Yeah. Have you heard Wolfgang do cover his dad's songs? He's just as good at his dad.
I love his stuff.
Yeah.
His stuff is really great. He has a song. Man, I'm trying to remember the name of the song, but it's about his dad. It's about Eddie Van Halen. And oh man, if you listen to that song, you know what it's about, it hits you, man. It's like one of those really, really emotive songs.
You should see the video for it.
Oh, really?
It's got pictures of him and his dad growing up. Yeah.
Oh, man.
You think that song hits you in the feels? Imagine watching pictures of him and his dad, dude. It gets me every time. It's hard to watch.
I could imagine.
Yeah. And luckily,
there's another song like that. It's "Hate Me" by the Blue October. And hate me today, hate me tomorrow. Remember that song?
Yeah, I do.
Dude, the dude wrote that song to his mom after she had already died, apologizing for putting her through everything because he was a drug addict. So he didn't get sober until after she was dead. So he basically wrote the song to her, saying that just like hate me for everything I put you through. And the video, the same thing. It has footage of him and his mom, and he was really young and all fucked up and all the footage and everything. And you can see a mom that basically just loved an addict through like the worst thing, and then she died before she could see him clean his life up. You know what I mean? And dude, I'm telling you, that song is like, dude, that song gets me every time, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That's I'm a big softie. I really am. That stuff, especially when it comes to like with kids and parents and stuff. I mean, my parents are both alive. Thank goodness.
60 seconds remaining.
Well,
time to wrap it up.
It goes by so fast, huh?
Yeah, I think this is a good talk, man. I really enjoyed this. We learned some stuff.
Dude, I'm looking forward to doing it again, man. And yeah, dude, just everybody listening, man, thanks for supporting and being there. Yeah, dude, until next time, man, it was a blast, bro.
Goodbye, and everyone can see you. You're right behind me. You're behind my back. Love you, man.
That's cool, man.
We'll talk again soon.
All right, brother. Man, blessings.
All right. Bye.